Right before I turned 30, my wife, Lauren, and I decided to take the plunge. We were two newlywed East Coasters settling into our Los Feliz lives, but something was missing. So we spent the first half of 2004 trying to complete our family. To quote the Four Non-Blondes, and we tried. Oh my God, did we try. Then, boom, it happened. We adopted Sharky the Schnoodle. We named her after the Santa Barbara bar, frat bar, where we had our first date. I mean, technically, she should have been called $1.50 Margaritas. That's a mouthful. You see, we were not actually in a hurry to have human offspring. Maybe because my starry-eyed view of a career hadn't yet congealed. Maybe because some of our young parental friends became, dare I say, a little less fun. Truth is, we were just scared. Or I was just scared of change, of becoming an adult. My uncle-in-law once gave us a not-so-subtle tirade describing the joy he felt looking into his grandchildren's eyes. The purpose of life is to bring more life into the world. I really got us thinking, what an asshole. Mind you, he wasn't the only one bringing up the lack of a baby elephant in the room. It's stunning how often borderline strangers would inquire about the most intimate of topics. Fortunately, Lauren and I had a foolproof answer. So, are you trying to have kids? Well, the way we do it, you can't really have kids that way. All right, we were never actually brave enough to say that. Instead, we'd awkwardly change the subject and show a picture of our dog. But as we reached our early mid-30s, a sobering reality kicked in. So many of our friends were having trouble getting pregnant, had gone through IVF. What if we waited too long and needed more than $1.50 margaritas to conceive? I don't recall a long, drawn-out conversation on the baby topic. One day we weren't ready to be parents, and then one day we were. Well, I'll cut past the next part of the story. But, spoiler alert, Lauren became pregnant. And there was much rejoicing with a side of trepidation. The problem, our cool apartment in the 323 with a stellar view felt small. A drive-by shooting on our block helped cement the decision. Time to move on up to the 818. We closed on a Burbank house, back when that was still possible. We scheduled to move in 12 whole days before the little dude was going to arrive. Brilliant idea, right? Except, well, our human-to-be had his own plan. July 14th. I was teaching an evening film class when my phone rang. The students knew my wife was 8 months pregnant. It's fine, guys. If something's up, she'll call ring, ring. Okay. So my wife's water just broke. I'll turn to my notes a little bit later. Eric, are you okay? Oh, no, I'm terrified. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, this water breakage meant we didn't actually have to race downtown to the hospital. We arrived later in the night and settled in for our final evening as a party of 2.5. Around midnight, I walked out of the hospital to grab our remaining bags from the car when a burly security guard stopped me. I'll get you a shuttle. No, it's cool. The parking garage is literally across the street. I'll get you a shuttle, trust me. You don't want to walk around here. Where were we? A word to the wise. You don't really know the safety of a hospital unless you scout after dark. It turns out ours was gangland adjacent. I opted not to share that bit of information with Lauren. Well, the next morning she was induced, and it could take up to 24 hours for the baby to arrive, So I had ample time to grab a coffee cup I never got to finish. It was go time. For those who've been there, childbirth is a rather messy miracle. While a cover of Neil Young's I Am a Child played, all 5 pounds, 4 ounces of Alexander Micah Kana arrived. A beautiful, healthy boy, and so perfect. I mean, he was rocking a bit of a cone head, but he was perfect. I mean, when taking a bath, he looked like a kind of a red-skinned creature from X-Files. No, he was perfect from the words, "My water broke." It took me a little bit longer to become a perfect or even adequate dad. There's a fog that comes with a newborn. There's a fog that comes with moving into a new house. And there's a fog with a script deadline. And when you put all three together, it felt like no light could break through. I don't remember the second half of 2008 all that well. So many boxes remain unpacked. I know my wife was an instant rock star with the baby. I once saw her feeding the baby while taking a work call and petting the dog all at once. How many arms does this woman have? I, on the other hand, had changed exactly one diaper in my life before Alex was born. Feeding, changing, everything seemed like an unsolvable mystery. Paternity leave was my salvation. When the fog finally lifted a little bit, I needed those precious few months alone with him to truly get parenthood. My diaper changing skills became next level. Never got peed on, not once. Oh, when a baby rubs his eyes, that's when you put them down for a nap. Who knew? Well, now I did. And later that year, I had a fatherhood epiphany. I was carrying little Alex to daycare when I tripped over the curb. Before I even knew what happened, my body had already completely turned itself around, so I could take the brunt of the fall and protect my little man. I was once told that parenthood is when your heart moves outside your body, and that day proved it. Okay, I did regain my footing, so we didn't actually fall all the way down, but that should not discount my organic paternal bravery. Cut to 17 years worth of figurative and literal falls later. I'm now a father to 2 amazing teenage boys. Parenthood has proven to be an ever-changing landscape. Just when I get the hang of parenting a 13-year-old, he turns 14, and we have to start all over again. Oh, and I wasn't raised with siblings, so I'm not really sure how 2 dudes from the same gene pool could be entirely different species. Thankfully, my wife and I have gotten mostly used to the unpredictable nature of the gig. Simply put, there's no easy answers or solutions to motherhood or to fatherhood, especially since margaritas are now way over $1.50. Thank you.
Close your eyes, have no fear. The monster's gone, he's on the run, and your daddy is here.